I don't know if I can edit it out from Facebook Live, but I can edit it out in the YouTube version. So. All right, let's go. What's up, Dan? There's like a 10-second delay between what I see and then Juan. What's up, Juan? What up? Good morning. We'll wait for a couple more people and then. What's up, Tasha? I gotta come hang out with you guys and maybe get a good lift in here in the next couple days. I see you guys doing work over there in the garage. So once we get a couple more people, I just want to talk real quick about, if you don't have any equipment, it might be a good idea now to invest in a couple of items, and you can find them pretty cheap on Facebook Marketplace. And I've been doing a lot of research here on OfferUp as well, and I've been finding some pretty decent stuff. Today for the workout, all you really need is a couch. Janelle will be joining us, and she's going to be doing most of the exercises. I'm going to do most of the instructing and trying to give you different ways to progress or regress if some of the movements that we're doing are too difficult. But if you are working out this morning, can you send a comment and tell me what kind of stuff do you have? Do you have dumbbells? Do you have any sort of bands? The more information I know about what people have or don't have will help me as we continue to do these workouts for the next couple of weeks. Got the couch. Good. Hi, thanks for joining us. So some other equipment that I've had, some of my own clients, I've been training them virtually. I had them buy some super bands, some mini bands, and that's kind of like the minimal. Ideally, they'll get a hold of some dumbbells, even if they're pretty light. You can do a ton of body weight exercise and still make this challenging. Sitting next to my dumbbell. I have dumbbells and bands. Sweet. Awesome. Very light weights, but we can get more. Yeah, as we were mentioning, going on Facebook Marketplace and going on OfferUp, I've been looking on there constantly, and people are putting things on there every single day. And so just make sure to go and check the price on Amazon or on some other marketplace so that you're not overpaying, because some people are putting ridiculous prices on things, maybe trying to take advantage of the fact that people are now looking for a bunch of equipment. But awesome. So as we continue to go, I would like to add in some weights. Today I planned not to have any. Really all you need is a couch, and then if some of the movements allow us to progress with some of the weights that you have, just have them ready. I think there's a couple things that we can do where we can add some weight. So I think it was funny. Yesterday I posted on my neighborhood app, and I think a bunch of my clients even saw it, and old clients that I used to train saw it, and I had like 15 or 20 people jump in and add me on Instagram. So that was pretty cool. Hopefully they come in and join too, or at least they have an opportunity to watch the videos later. So once we're done, I've been posting them to I've been posting them to YouTube, and then you can access it through my Instagram profile. You just go to the link tree. It's the link right in my bio, and then all the videos are there. So if you want more workouts every day, there's good full workouts that we did in the last couple days. We'll get started here in a couple minutes. What's up, Jesse? I don't know if you're still here. It doesn't tell me who's still here. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Dee Dee? You trying to get 2 workouts in today? And then just so everybody knows, there's like a 10-second lag between what I see and then what you'll see. So, yeah. Hey, Jesse. So, here in the warm up, we're going to be starting on the ground. Like most of the workouts that I do, we'll start on the ground and then we kind of work our way up to standing. Hi, thanks for joining us. Some of the things that we mentioned was, if you have any equipment, go ahead and let me know what you have. And then it might be a good idea to start looking on OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace for just like some dumbbells. You can get some pretty cheap bands on Amazon. Super bands are great. Some of the lighter ones, I would start with those and then work your way up. Just glad you can't see me. And then, even like a really light kettlebell is a good idea. It's like a super durable piece of equipment that, will last for a long time. And then, so like I said, we're going to be starting on the ground, and Janelle just joined. I'll be doing more instructing, kind of jumping in. She's going to be doing more of the exercises because she just wants to work out like 8 times a day, taking out our lights.
Good morning.
So it's 7. Let's get going, get started. Said I'll give you some progressions and regressions of some of the movements we're going to do. But today, we're going to start with like a warm up. We're going to do some strength based exercises. And then in the end, we're going to try and ramp up and like actually be on a timer and try and keep that heart rate up. So let's go. I'm going to have you start on your back. You might as well just be and then you scoot back just a little bit so you don't kick the couch. From here, we're going to do some leg lowering. So what I'm going to have Janelle do is put her feet up, knees up, hands up. Big thing here is I'm going to have her keep her lower back flat at all times. So throughout the entire workout, where we're on the floor here, we're trying to keep that lower back flat to the ground. As she takes an exhale, I'm going to have her tap her foot and her heel to the ground. Yep. We're going to do 10 on each side. If this is pretty easy for you, then you can straighten your legs out and do more of a leg lowering. How does that feel? Is that pretty easy?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and straighten your legs up towards the ceiling. So if you want to make it a little more challenging here, that's okay. You're only going to go as far as you can without letting your back come off the ground. So make sure that this is kind of home base, right? This is never going to leave. We don't want to strain the back during this exercise. We want to make sure that we're getting most of the abs. I'm kind of blocking Janelle's. Let's see, where's the frame end? I think it ends like over here. 10 on each side. Where's the frame end over here? Let's move some stuff. There we go. Once you finish out 10 on each side, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do a cook bridge. Stand back. You're going to drive one knee to the chest. One leg is going to plant. Whoa! Go feet flat on the ground. Yep. Go ahead and grab a hold of this knee. If you don't have the flexibility to grab a hold of the knee, that's okay. Just try and keep driving your knee towards your face like a march. From here, you're driving through this bottom leg and you're going to bridge. And so a lot of people aren't going to get a ton of height on this one, and that's okay. What we're doing here is maximizing our ability to use our hips, like our butt and our hamstring, to extend the hip and minimizing our lower back. So I really like this drill. It was something that we did, I think, a couple days ago, and I mentioned it yesterday. It's a great drill to start teaching people how to use their hips properly. And we're going to do 10 on each side. Get a good squeeze at the top, come down in control nice and slow. Exhale, push. You can go foot flat, or you can bring the toe up so that you're driving through the heel, and sometimes that helps people feel their hamstrings and their butt a little bit better. Looks great.
Thanks. Switch.
Yep. I don't know about you guys, but with all the time we've been able to get more sleep, we've probably slept like 10 hours last night. We worked out also like 4 times, so. So I'm a little bit sore today, but yeah, we did our workout. We did like a pull-up workout. We went and played basketball. It was, I think I'm working out more now than I was when I was actually in the gym, so. Once we finish out 10 on each side of our cook bridges, we're gonna go to a side plank. Now I'm gonna have you start on your knees. Yeah. You're gonna tuck your feet back towards your butt. From here, you're gonna plant this top hand into the ground and kind of face your torso and your hips to the ground a little bit. And so when you push yourself away and actually raise the hips, we're trying to make sure that we're like pushing our rib cage back. And yeah, you should feel more of the tension here on the front side, not so much on the back side. Face your hips and torso towards the ground a little bit more if you are feeling your back. And then we're gonna do this in repetitions. So go ahead and go down, hips to the ground, and then push away. The other part of this that's really important is that bottom shoulder, if you have shoulder issues, make sure that you're keeping the tension tight in the lat and not letting your shoulder blade come up like a shrug. We want to pack that shoulder, pushing away from the ground, using both hands to push away. So it's a little bit different than you might have seen before, but I like it because it kind of forces you into some ab muscles that you're maybe not used to using. We'll do 10 on the 10th one. I'll have you hold for 10 seconds, and then we'll flip sides and do the same thing. I should just bring my phone over here. I think I'm going to remember this one. I forgot some of the exercises yesterday. So embarrassing. But yep. Drive the hips up towards the ceiling, keeping the knees stacked, keep your feet stacked. Push, yeah. Holding it up. 10 seconds, and then we're gonna go to an all fours position. And so I might angle you just a little bit this way so that, because you're gonna kick and reach. So make sure you have a little bit of room around you. Yeah, we'll like angle it this way so that you can reach and kick. And scoot back a little bit, scoot back a little bit. You might still pick the couch, but that's okay, I can move it. Yeah. There you go. So from here we're gonna do a bird dog. You're gonna be reaching opposites. Your arm coming forward, your leg kicking back. The big thing here we want to see is that we're not getting too much of our rounding or of our lower back. So make sure you're keeping good integrity of your abs, pushing away from the ground. So now bring your elbow to your knee underneath, tap, and then reach out. We're going to stay on that same side for 10 reps. Tap, keep pushing away from the ground with that hand that's planted into the floor. We really don't want to see the rib cage and the spine like dropping towards the ground. Try and push yourself away. You'll feel your abs a lot more. You'll be in a better position, and it'll just complement everything that we're going to do later on. A lot of the things that I like to focus on that seem to make the biggest difference in the way my clients move is just really making sure that their spine, their rib cage, what you say, their core, is just in a good position, and that they have good awareness, and all the other movements tend to clean up. So that's why we typically focus on being on the ground, getting some body awareness, and then working up to our main exercises. Nice. How's it feel? Cool. Last one is going to be just a reverse lunge, mostly because we're going to be doing that towards the end of the workout. And just wanted to give you different modifications that you could do, but you're going to start with your feet together. You'll take, you don't have to take a giant step back. Ideally, when we do a lunging position, we're going to end up in like a position where we have a 90-degree bend at the front knee, maybe a little bit less, and then the back knee should end up right underneath you. So when we see people doing lunges, sometimes they take too big of a step or too small of a step, and then they kind of like fold forward. We want to stay nice and tall. If it helps to start at the bottom and find this kind of 90-90 position, and then bring yourself up from there, go ahead and do that. But the big thing I want to focus on is keeping most of the tension on the front leg. So we're going to step back, just tap, and up. And you don't even have to go all the way down to the floor. So, if it is challenging for you, take a smaller step down. So we're here and then up. As long as you're feeling that load in through that front leg throughout most of the movement, then I'm pretty happy about that. And we'll stay on the same leg for 10. Again, if it's easier to go down to the bottom position, find more of a 90-90 and then come up. You are going to have to bring your weight forward and your torso forward in this particular drill to come up, but...
What, my toe?
No, you can bring your toe like normal.
Because it's different without shoes.
It is a lot different without shoes. That was something I was noticing the last couple workouts. If it's uncomfortable on your toes, if you're barefoot, you can do what Janelle's doing here. She's kind of flattening her foot. This is going to make it a little more challenging because you're not going to be able to push off of that foot as much, which is good though, because we want to work on more of that front leg, right? So Janelle makes these things look really easy. The workout we're doing today is probably like Janelle's warm-up, so probably not even that. We're going to do one more round of those 5 exercises, so we're going to start on our back. Working on that leg lowering, so we'll start with the knees at 90 degrees, tapping the heel. If that's too easy, go ahead and push the leg straight up in the air. Remember, your lower back staying in contact with the ground is your number one it's home base. This should never leave. If it does, then you need to reset or regress the exercise. Just don't go as far. As long as you feel your abs, you're getting what you need to out of this exercise. Let's see, we got somebody with a comment. Crushing it, Janelle. Hey, what's up, Lisa? Kelsey. Oh, wow. We only have 3 people left, but some people stopped in. Lisa, Dan, Katie. I don't know who's still with us, but...
Who's that crushing it?
What's up?
Who's that crushing it?
Dan. Or, no, Lisa maybe? No, it was Dan.
Nice.
Alright, finishing out your leg lowering, we're going to go to the cook bridge. One leg driving into dip, and now pushing, and again, don't expect you to get your hips very high. You might not feel like you're going through a huge range of motion, that's okay. As long as you're able to feel your hamstring, your butt, that would be really good. Squeeze at the top, really try and push through, come down nice and slow. Let's make sure that I'm in frame. Frame ends about here on the couch, so okay. And we're working on a cook bridge, one of my favorite exercises for a warm-up. I feel like a lot of people feel this more than they do a regular glute bridge. And I think it's because of the way that it restricts the position and kind of restricts your ability to cheat. So side plank. Getting excited, jumping ahead. I like it. So both hands plant, one elbow plants, the hand plants. You're going to push your hips off the ground. Again, trying to face your hips and your torso towards the floor a little bit, so that when you push away, you're going to feel more of the tension here on the front side, not just the side and not the back, ideally. Trying to get those hips up nice and high, pushing away. We're going to do 10 reps of those, and on the last one, I'm going to have you hold it for 10 seconds, really owning that position. We're doing a lot of focus on feeling and becoming aware of the abs, so when we progress to some of our main movements, we're able to use that to help keep our spine nice and safe. Looks great. And switch. And I'm going to turn you a little bit, just so we can see a little better. side. And again, it's really important that we kind of pack that shoulder down and feel more of the tension in our armpit, so we're keeping our shoulder blade nice and stable and we're not just hanging out on our neck and shoulder. Using both hands to push away is going to allow you to really get the rib cage and your hips away from the floor. I really like that hand being planted because it also allows you to kind of minimize using your back. Who else is joining us? Rowan, my neighbor. Still with you. Yeah, good. Love it. All right, Rowan. Let's go. That's cool. My neighbor's on here.
Is Nate with him?
I don't know. Bird dog.
Oh.
This is a thing. I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is just my training or my cueing, but my clients always do this. They always get up off the ground, and I'm like, well, you gotta go back down there now. Like, they're so excited to get off the floor. Touching the knee to the elbow and then back. This happens to me all the time. I gotta figure out a way to. It's like, alright, we're gonna stay on the ground the entire exercise, the entire workout. I think Rowan said something, but I can't see that far, so I'll look at it later. Doesn't look like a question, so. Elbow, yep, good. 10 of those. Again, trying to push our hips or our spine away from the floor here with that hand that's staying planted. And then when I'm extending the leg, trying to feel my butt on this side and trying not to go into a huge curve in my lower back. Just straight back. If you feel like you're trying to reach up with your foot too much, just drive your foot straight back. I'd rather it actually be below your hips when you drive this leg back if you're feeling like you're kicking in your lower back. Cool. Finishing out, and then we're going to go back to those reverse lunges one more time. Feet together. You're going to take a step back, and it's really, you're not really shifting that much weight into that back leg. Most of the weight is going to stay forward in that front leg, going 10 each side. This will be our last exercise in our warm-up before we get into the exercises, and this is a little bit longer here. Matt Campbell. Just he's having a tough time keeping up. But you're crushing it, right, Matt? Yeah. Hello. Matt's crushing it, I know it. How far have you run so far, Matt? In just the last few days? Now that you don't have to work, can you just like run all day?
Probably 200 miles.
Yeah. What's his mileage at by now? So. Okay.
Do the other side.
Okay, other side. Let's get going. Again, if this is kind of challenging, you can take a smaller step and then don't go down all the way, right? So I'm here. I mean, I'll have clients literally just go to here and they back up. As long as we're loading this front leg and you feel a little bit like through the quad, maybe through the hip, that would be awesome. 30 hours or 30 what?
Well, 30 miles is nothing.
Yeah, 30 miles is like a morning for him. Alright, if you need some water, grab some water real quick. We're going to be doing 5 exercises. There's going to be a lot more volume today.
Jesse, hi! Keeping up. You got it, Jesse.
So we're going to be doing a lot more volume today, like really trying to keep you moving. We're going to do a circuit of more strength-based stuff, and then we're going to switch up the exercises a little bit and then do more of something to keep your heart rate up. So the first exercise, this is where you're going to need your couch. I really like this exercise. It's become very popular recently with people wanting to really exercise and grow their butts, which has been an interesting trend in fitness. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to slide down so that the right underneath our shoulder blades, or like the middle of your back, is going to be the last thing in contact with your couch. And from here, we're going to drive our hips to the ceiling by putting downward tension through our heels. And I'm rolling my tailbone, kind of like a glute bridge. I'm trying to roll my tailbone up as I squeeze and lift, and then I'm coming down. And so if this is tough on your neck, you can tuck your chin to your chest to take off some of the pressure. And then from here, we're gonna bridge, squeeze, coming down nice and slow. Make sure you're staying in those heels. If you need to pick your toes up so that you're staying honest with those heels, let's do that. But you're trying to roll your hips towards your face. That's what's going to really maximize you feeling the tension more behind the legs. We're not arching our back. We're pushing through our hips, squeezing our butt. Coming down nice and slow. All the exercises here are going to be in control. You come up, squeeze, count to 2, 2, 1, up, 1, 2, coming down nice and slow. Really trying to maximize that tension through those hamstrings and glutes. I have no idea how many I'm at, but we're shooting for 15 of these. Drive. This actually feels really good on my back. Again, you don't have to go up that high, right? As long as I'm driving through, rolling my tailbone, like even to about here, I'm starting to feel the tension. That little extra squeeze at the top, that's where I'm getting a lot of benefit. Squeeze. If you have some light weights on the next round that we do it, I'll show you a way to actually load this position a little bit. We have some dumbbells. We'll just put them all on Jill. See how many.
Stand on me.
See how
Act
many.
like a barbell.
Just plank across you.
Yep.
Some pretty impressive videos of people doing like hundreds and hundreds of pounds on this movement. It's pretty cool. Sweet. Let's see. Let's just make sure. Yeah, I think you're in frame. Squeeze. Should be getting close to done now. 30 miles.
Gotta wait for Jesse.
Yeah, is Jesse done yet?
3 miles.
30.
Oh.
Okay, next thing we have is push-ups, and so if you can do the full push-up, I'll have you do 15 of those. Big thing we're working on is making sure that we're keeping our spine in a good position. If you need to modify, or if you're getting tired, because we're going to be doing 3 rounds of this stuff, if you're getting kind of tired, we'll go to the knees. You can also use your couch as a way to do an incline push-up. Excuse me. Make sure your couch is, stable or pushed up against like a wall or something so that you don't go sliding. So from here, probably the easiest way to modify this push-up is to go from the knees, using the edge of the couch, coming down, and pushing up. Right? I'm keeping my head to my knees all in a straight line and letting my arms take on all the work as I bring my shoulder blades together and then I push away. If that's too easy for you, then we're going to progress a little bit here to the floor, still staying on the knees, right? And then coming down, let's go this way. Coming down, nice and slow, pushing away. Down, pushing away. If that's still pretty challenging for you, what I'll have you work on is just coming down super slow from this knee position. So working on really creating a lot of tension, coming down nice and slow, and you're only going to do about 5 reps of these. Coming down nice and slow, tapping, and then you can roll to the side and get up if that's how you need to do it. Again, we're just trying to create lots of tension. 15 reps. If you can do the full body weight push-up, go for it. We're going to be a little bit behind all you if you started.
What do you want me to do?
You can do that, that's fine. 15. Boom. I just want you to come down in control. It doesn't have to be as slow as we did it on Monday. That was a different focus as far as what we were doing in that exercise. There we go. Nice. I just want you to be in control. And actually, if you're pushing away from the ground, you can actually be kind of explosive with that. We always want to train that movement to be powerful.
RX Plus.
Oh, look at this, fancy. Well, yeah, if you're really strong and advanced, you can throw those feet up on the couch, showing off. We'll call that, I assume most of you are close to done or are done. Next thing we're going to do is just a body weight squat. If you have some weight, you can actually do a goblet squat. And if you struggle with getting into good position, like getting good depth in your squat, or you feel like you're tilting forward and feeling your back a little bit of weight in the front actually can help. And so we'll do it that way since you have some weights. You're gonna hold this weight here. So hold it like gauntlet, good. And you can hold it in tight and you can hold it out in front of you a little bit too, as long as the elbows stay driving underneath. From here, keeping the weight in your heels. Yeah, descend nice and slow, in control into your squat. And then from here, right about parallel, you come up. You don't have to go as deep as Janelle. She is built differently. She's very good at squatting. Going to about parallel and then come back up. If this is still uncomfortable, and it's hard to hit that depth of getting the hips down, you can prop your heels up with like a book, and that can allow you to get a little bit more range of motion, a little bit more depth, and it keeps you more upright. In our squat, we want to make sure that we're staying nice and tall with our spine, that the hips are going down. Not so much back in this particular exercise. There are squat variations where our hips are going to want to go, and we really want to train going back. But here with like a goblet squat or a bodyweight squat, I'm looking more for your ability to get your hips to go down and your knees forward. So a lot of people are scared to get the knees to go forward. As long as you're keeping the knee within the middle of your foot relatively, your knees are designed to go past your toes. It's okay, just don't lose your heel. We want to be able to do all these different variations of the squat, wide, narrow, but it does take some training to be able to do that. And if you saw me on Monday, like I struggle with the squat because of really tight ankles, so I use the heel lift pretty much all the time. And it's okay. I still get the benefit of the exercise without hurting myself or feeling weird stuff like my back. So. Who's this? Hey! It's Julia.
Julia Church?
Church? Well, Reardon.
Oh, yeah. Always Julia Church.
Alright, the next one, this exercise we're going to be doing on both circuits. You can go ahead and throw the weight to the side. This one's called a seal jack, and so instead of doing like a normal jumping jack, the feet will be the same, but the hands are going to be a little bit different, more of a horizontal plane. And you can thank Dan Stevenson for these. And 15. That's exactly what we're doing. Yep. 15 seal jack, and then nice. Okay, the next one's going to take a few variations because it is a pretty challenging exercise. I'll just demonstrate for the first one here. So, no burpees. I'm not a fan of burpees, Maybe Janelle will take over the workout one day and we'll do whatever she says, but for today.
You could be my demonstrator.
Oh,
That'd be
God.
awesome.
This is what this is, just setting me up. You just want to see me
Yeah.
be tortured. We're going to do an explosive sit-up here, and I usually do this by getting people to throw a ball to me and then they sit up. If this is really challenging, then we're just going to work on doing a crunch from this position here. Coming up, squeeze. Coming up, squeeze. But ideally, if you can do this, hands behind the head, we're pretending like we're throwing a ball and then sitting up. Down. So our spine is staying pretty straight, coming up and down from the floor. I'm not rolling myself up, I'm literally sitting up. Using the momentum from my arms to help. So if that's really challenging, we're just going to bring the legs up, cross the knees, and we're just going to focus on driving those elbows and the head up towards the ceiling, coming down nice and slow. Go. Maybe I don't have a ball. Maybe I need a 30-pound sandbag. Yep. 15. Boom. These will get you to feel
Let's just get
your
the pillow. The pink pillow.
I don't know if that's gonna keep going. I don't think that's gonna work.
Try it. It's something to throw.
You just wanna throw stuff?
Yeah.
Oops. Let's see. Oh gosh. Bang. Wow. Taking my legs out. I've definitely hit a couple clients in the head with a ball here.
It's much better than just air.
Yeah, I mean, if you have something people do this where they throw it at the wall. It's usually not a pillow, but you know, pretty fun. How many yet?
10?
Well, wow, this is way easier to catch than a ball.
That's good.
Yeah, nice. Cool. So that was the first round. Going all the way back to that hip thrust on the couch. If that hip thrust is easy for you, there is a version of doing it with one leg. So again, we're going to slide down so that our shoulder blades come into contact with the couch, but actually it's probably like right below the shoulder blades. That's going to probably be the best pivoting point here on the couch. And so from here, I'm bridging up, squeezing the hamstrings at the top. So you can either go to one leg of being able to drive up, kind of like that cook bridge, right, that we did at the beginning. Boom. That should be plenty of tension for most people. If you go, the next variation would be to actually load like a dumbbell on your hips with both legs. And then if that's pretty easy, you keep loading more weight and do single leg. There's always ways to progress and regress these things. What's going to be most appropriate for you is what gets you to feel the tension, you know, what gets you to feel like you're working. With all the exercises we're doing here today, ideally, by the time you get done, we're at like a 7 out of 10 at least, as far as the difficulty or the fatigue that you're under. That can be kind of hard to measure sometimes, but that's about where we want to be. 7 out of 8, 7 or 8 out of 10. What's that?
Show the dumbbell.
Yeah, you can do the dumbbell on the hips. So here, Janelle puts the dumbbell on the hips. Sometimes we do that with a barbell. That's because that's probably become one of the most popular exercises in the gym in the last year. See a lot of people loading like a Smith machine or a barbell across their hips and driving and really squeezing their butt. That looks great. I think you need more weight.
Your turn.
Push up. Again, we have the 3 variations of the push up. We go to the knees, using the couch as an incline or a table or whatever it, you know. Going to the knees, focusing on good tension through that upper body. If you're really fancy, you can go feet up on the couch if the normal body weight push up isn't enough. But I think for most people, should be plenty. Oh boy, we're down to 2 people. Who is it? Who's still there?
Jesse?
I don't know. We'll see if they comment in. All those push-ups. Yep. Squat. And we'll keep it a goblet squat. So another nice tool would be like I prefer the kettlebell actually, or the dumbbell with the goblet squats, but the kettlebell is also another good option for that. Coming down nice and slow, about parallel, boom. Yeah, as long as we're staying in the heels, it's okay to let those knees track forward. And we want our butt to come down, right? If yeah, Jesse's still there. If you're having a hard time kind of gauging where you're at in space, you can use a couch or a chair as a way to just tap and then come back up, right? Keep going. Nice job.
Thanks.
Alright, 15 seal jack. Hands apart, hands together. Really trying to keep our heart rate up. It's gonna be a 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off. Who's back? Hey, what's up? People just stomping in and out.
Your turn.
I can do this round. So, water if you need it, and then let's get back. We're gonna go with those hip thrusts one more time on the couch. From here, go down. Should be right, maybe like an inch or two right below the shoulder blades is gonna be the best pivoting point for most people. And then from here, driving those hips to the ceiling, squeeze at the top, come down nice and slow and control. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Remember, we're trying to lead with the tailbone as we roll our hips up. Who's there?
Kim just joined.
Kim.
And Lauren.
Lauren.
And D Hill Fitness.
D-Hill, let's do some hip thrusts. Let's go. I don't even know how many I'm at. Probably like 3 more.
You're the worst at counting.
I'm so bad at counting. That's why later we're going to be using again that app, Training Centric. It's really nice. Oh, okay, I feel my glutes and hamstrings plenty there. All right, going into those push-ups. 15. So from here, big thing, trying to keep good position. If you want to get into more detail about the push-up, go back and watch Monday because we were like pretty tedious about the positioning and our warm-up, and everything was kind of surrounded by push-up stuff. Push-up. 15. Am I still in frame here?
Yep.
Cool.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
You don't have to necessarily go that fast, but as long as you're in control. Did anybody say anything? Did D-Hill say something? What's up, D-Hill? He probably left.
Nope, he's still here.
Oh, nice.
He didn't say anything though. D Hill Fitness.
Squat. You want to hand me those books? As I mentioned, if you have a tough time staying upright with your squats and doing more of this variation where we're trying to get our hips down,
Christine.
just having Christine Kindle,
Yeah.
just having some variation where you can prop your heels up with a book, doesn't have to be very big, can be the difference between you staying more upright in your squat and being able to hit a good depth. Alright, right into those seal jacks.
No.
That's the last one.
Are you sure?
And last one is that explosive sit up. Oh yeah, this is gonna be so fun.
It's nice to have something.
It is. It's hard to. I guess
of awkward, but works. It does feel better than not doing it with anything at all. Okay, last chance to get some water. Hi, what's up, Christine? Thanks for stopping by. So we're gonna change the variation of some of these exercises. Instead of the hip lift on the couch, we're just gonna do a normal glute bridge. And then more mountain climbers. Instead of the push-up, just mountain climbers. We're gonna do that alternating reverse lunge. What?
Knees to chest. So we've mountain climbed yesterday.
Knees to chest. Oh, like the same way?
Both knees, yeah.
Okay, yeah, do some of those for 15. That's fine. I like that. And then back to the seal jacks and then back to the sit-ups. I'm gonna have a timer on this one though, so you're trying to get 15 repetitions in 30 seconds, or just do as many as you can in that 30-second time. If you can do like 20 or more, then you need to progress the position and do something a little bit more difficult. And we'll talk about that as we go. So we can just alternate rounds, I guess. I'll do one, you do one, or you get to start. So we'll be taking commands from that. TrainCentric is a sweet app I've been using. You can program basically like the rep sets and the timing. Oh, phone looks really dirty. Super helpful. What's up, Nate? And because for me, I suck at counting, so having something to keep me honest, especially when I'm doing a lot of sets and small amounts of reps, like it's just nice to have something tell me what to do. And so we'll take the commands here.
Music.
4, 3, 2,
Music.
1.
I need to be able to cue. So glute bridge, you got 15 or do as many as you can here in 30 seconds. So from here, squeeze. We still want to be in control, even though we're moving faster and doing more reps. Being in control, get a good squeeze at the top, coming down nice and slow.
15.
One way to actually change this, if you don't feel much of the hamstrings and glutes, is to bridge from an elevated position, like a chair or like a small couch, a small box. If you have something like that to bridge from,
Rest.
30 seconds rest. If you have something like that to bridge from, it can be really helpful. So instead of the push-up, we're gonna do the knees in, knees out.
Instead of
Let me
mountain
go a
climbers.
little more sideways here. I want to use this
Instead of mountain climbers.
instead of mountain climbers, yeah. And then come towards me, and then face here, hands on the mat.
I need the socks.
5,
That's why you're going hands on the mat.
3, 2, 1.
Yep, knees to chest. If this is pretty difficult for you, you can just be in that push-up position or in that bear position and driving one knee towards the chest. So I'd be like in my push-up position or on all fours, and then I'm just working on trying to drive my knee to my chest.
5, 4,
Or
3, 2, 1.
if that was pretty difficult, one thing you can do on the next round is just practice being able to load yourself forward into your hands. So, excuse me. Is just literally going to all fours and then coming up and just being in this position for 30 seconds, or as many of the 30 seconds as you can for practice. Do you remember the next exercise? Alternating reverse lunges.
5, 4,
So
3,
now we're going alternating,
1.
stepping back, boom, up. Here, the goal is to get about 10 on each side since we are doing an alternating exercise. Still want to stay in control. Still want to make sure that we're prioritizing being safe.
15.
Who is this? Day 3. Lower body becomes full body.
Go ahead.
Whoa.
Is it still
I
going?
don't understand, Nate, but yes. Full body. Yeah.
You
Oh
wasn't-
no, you're resting. Yeah. Siri interrupted there. Just making sure. Seal jack. Oh, lower full. I see what you mean. I can fix that. Lower body. There we go. Thanks, Nate. Nobody else caught that. It's like, what are you talking about? Go ahead, go. For some reason the sound went off. Come on. Siri. I guess I gotta be your voice. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. That's weird. Just Siri popped up and now nothing audio is coming on. That's weird. I don't know. I need a new phone anyway. So.
Been saying that for like 3 years.
Oh my god. Back to workout. I know. Last one is the crunch, or you can do the explosive sit up again, but no pillow. Just getting through it.
Let's reset that.
I'll do it when we go to the next round. We're almost done. Ready? Go. 15 of these sit-ups. You'll use that arms for momentum as you get up. That is funny. Yeah, right? I know. I need a new phone. Which phone do you have, Jesse? 10 seconds. Let's see if I can do 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, rest. Does that sound pretty good?
A little lower.
A little lower? Okay. Alright, you get a whole minute here to kind of calm down, and then Janelle and I are going to switch. Yeah, that was weird. Let's see.
Can you exit out?
4, 3,
No, you don't have to go yet. Just a whole minute's rest.
It's your turn.
I know. I'm going to need these towels because I'm going to have to slide in the battery. Put this in here. Which one does she have?
6.
6, me too. I have the 6 plus, yeah. I've been having some weird glitches and stuff with it.
Oh, it's that Nathan. Oh, both Nathans.
Yeah, Nathan caught lower. I had put lower full body.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most of what we can do is lower body anyway, lower and core. So, you know, whatever. Okay, let's do it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What did we do yesterday? My hamstring was sore.
15.
Oh, those hamstring curls.
Well, I did 100 burpees. No matter run.
Oh,
Do 100 pull-ups
this is
after this.
No, we did 50 and that was super hard.
4,
Yeah, let's do
3,
50.
2, 1.
Oh,
Rest.
I need to go like this way. Again, this is pretty difficult for you. Just focus on being on that all fours position and pushing the knees off the ground, and just kind of get used to that position. If it's hard on the wrists, I would highly recommend starting to strengthen those wrists.
4, 3, 2, 1.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
15.
9, 10. That's a lot. 11,
What do you want to go super narrow?
13, 14,
5,
15,
4, 3, 2, 1. Rest.
You want me to go super narrow?
Not that
I feel my butt more when I go wider. Reverse lunges. Still got 3 people here. Nice set. Are you still in bed, Nate? Watching from your...
5,
Oh.
4, 3,
3, 2...
1.
Jump lunges.
Oh, I had to do those last week. Way too early to be doing that nonsense.
15.
make it real Nate Sheeby right here.
5, 4, 3,
How do I look, Nate?
2, 1. Rest.
He said, wish I was still in bed. Eating breakfast. Oh, you can bring some over here if you like.
I'm hungry.
Janelle's hungry, always. You can bring her some, whatever you got. Quarantine life is the life. Okay, going back to those Steel Jacks. 15.
5,
4,
3, 2, 1.
Janelle's shooting a separate video.
5,
I'm gonna jump in it out.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Whew. Okay, last one is those explosive sit-ups. Then we got one more round. What time is it?
7:51.
All right. See, we're making good time today. This is a good format. Get your heart rate up. You get to do a lot of different stuff.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Send it. Are you tired already?
I'm hungry.
Ready to go back to bed?
I'm hungry.
15. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I don't know how many to do, but. Alright. Last round, Janelle.
What?
You got this.
I'm gonna share it.
You sure? Get a whole minute rest here. Hey. Lost the feed. Oh. Weird. Well, we're still here, so I don't know. Lag City. Oh, weird. Could be the app that I'm using, but we'll see. The I'll put it on YouTube later, so when you go to watch it there, it shouldn't be lagged out. I'm just kidding. Ready? All right. And last round.
4, 3, 2,
Glute bridge. Squeeze your butt. Squeeze. Oh no. Huh. Looks like they're having some technical issues here.
We're just fine.
15.
Looks okay on my end. I don't know. Do you remember? Knees to chest. Extra wide.